And now we're gonna start the Marco run because I was busy doing things, and I was still busy doing things, so this might come out later than I expected, but hey, we'll do it here. And of course, Massa mode we're saving till later, but we'll see what I decide to do when those times come. So as always, we're gonna skip the character history. I think most people don't, but for now, for the sake of, working with the base kit, we'll see what we start off with, because I don't remember. There are a lot of things on this game that I need to look up on, but amidst the other games I was looking into, I will, I guess not well, yeah, it is technically. I will warn you now, I may have to divert time elsewhere. And again, this channel is for fun, but when I need to do work, I'll need to do work, so... there's really no one pushing me to make videos right now, but I am, and a few people are, based on what I hear. Based on what I've been told or hear. So yeah, I may have to cut down on things, but it will depend though. A certain game I'll always do, but this one we're also gonna skip this because the beginning part here, there's not really much I want to do. I'll probably plan to stick with a full party more often, but if I don't, then I don't. Because most of the time I'm going to be taking a Bella. I'm going to be taking a Bella here too. Again, I want to be party focused for now. And we'll see what happens come day 2 evening. Or maybe even night. It'll depend. So as we pass Karen roll, let's get into the game. And yeah, running out of things to talk about in terms of... had a sneeze, sorry. But things I made a list even before I started these playthroughs. So it's not like I ran out of things to talk about, but in terms of things on the note list, yeah, definitely running out of things. So, and not that I'm rehearsing off a script. I just know I want to talk about certain things, or maybe not. I don't think I've really ever crossed anything out. For example, one of them being what I want to do with the woodsman, because there was one time I wanted to just leave him alive, but I think I just decided to end up defeating him in every playthrough. We'll see if this is the same way. Also, I should check Marco's skills. So, yeah, unfortunately I don't have the enhanced guard. But, we do have... I think this also is on top of the base of accuracy, which Marcoh has 97%. So now I'm always guaranteed to hit in terms of accuracy. If something has evasion, I could miss. But... And this is the big RNG, but if I must fight something, like I get boxed... Mainly, the first example I'm thinking of is if I get boxed in by 2 enemies, then, yeah, I want to avoid anything bad here. We're actually gonna spare Tanaka for now, which might be a bad decision, but... Well, it is a bad decision, because usually getting agility early on is good, because otherwise you're hoping for a Funger book, but... Guaranteed strats, not guaranteed strats, we will see. Because I have a lot of information in my head, not just about Termina, but of other games, but we'll see if I put them to use. Or even speak about them. This, however, I definitely want to avoid. I wonder if I lose the double attack, because if and when you see me attack with Marcoh, you're going to see how he attacks. It's normally 2 attacks, but I wonder if he loses one if he loses an arm. I guess we're about to find out. Or we may find out, if I fail to kite this woodsman. But if nothing else, we're in here for the bookshelf here, which could give me literally anything. Anything that could be useful or not be useful. We're going to find out in a hot moment. So, I could try to play around with that. I wanted to do that in another playthrough, but if need be, I will do it here. Wouldn't be the best use of my circles, in my opinion, but... for more content. And then let's try to dodge this guy before we head into... Actually, I need to head into Tunnel 7. That's right. I want Abella right now. So, excuse me while I run across you, because there's a way into town from here anyway. So, away I go. I do have to figure out how I'm going to do these dogs, because I don't remember if Marcoh can one-shot them. I will give the first one rotten meat. I guess that'll be my indicator, but... yeah, we're going to find out. Unless I kite them successfully. I don't think I've ever kited them successfully yet. Or maybe I have once, but I don't remember. So, yeah, I need to keep doing this. I could try to get it stuck somewhere. Otherwise, I could do this and run all the way around. Yeah, you know what? For science, I'm going to do this. Hopefully I don't get caught by the woodsman here. That's the danger here. Okay, I didn't. And then I need to sneak around over to the other way to Tunnel 7. Is what I need to do. So I don't fight any of the dogs until I get a Bella. So we're in the old town now. I might as well loot this stuff here while I'm here. The boxes are nice. And I need to talk to the boxes a few times before they stop giving me the first flavor text. And then we'll move off. So we might as well loot these things here. I think most of the villagers are up on the north side of this map. Never mind, I lied. We will loot this quickly, and we'll walk around this house. As that mouse runs away. There are actually a lot of, not Easter eggs, but a lot of things that you may miss out on that are actually there, but you don't end up seeing them actually do anything. And most of them don't, like those rats. They don't do anything, but they are there for the atmosphere, so easy to miss, but hey. You're not up here, are you? You guys should be still down there. Okay, good. So yeah, to me, this is the safer way. I actually haven't done that yet, but I just thought of it now because, I mean, I had the opportunity to. So yeah. So we'll open this, and Abella will walk up to this. I found this hatch. And let's check it out together, because we want to party. Yeah, it's quite something. Oh, yes, you're more than welcome, because this, even though we're going for ending B, we're going to be doing this. And we don't want to proc this, because I would like to defeat Tonica myself. So, we're just gonna loot this stuff here, if for no other reason than when we get Abella's soul, we can use a meat grinder. But if we don't get her soul, well, we'll figure it out afterward. Lucky coin flip. 2 lucky coins. So we spent 1 and went +1. And then we're going to do this. Chalk. I could grab broomsticks here and there as well. I might as well. We'll unlock this really quickly. And then we'll loot these shelves once more. So pressure plate, bone saw. I didn't look into what the pressure plates actually did. But I never use them anyway. So maybe I'll look up one time. Maybe I'll look it up one moment and figure it out, because I haven't. And we'll move onward. While trying to make the most use of my stamina. That was something that was not exactly tricky. I just had to make sure everything was set up. To enable stamina on what I'm working on. That said, now that we're here, let me make sure I'm hitting the torso, and then you can wrench toss the torso, Abella. No, I do not one-shot it. Unless those were low rolls, but with an extra party member, it does happen. Unless it's Levy with withdrawal, but that's Levy with withdrawal. As we re-equip this pipe wrench and move on with our day. I could fight the other dog, but it doesn't really drop anything as I yawn into the nothingness. But I will take my usual route of going from west of Old Town all the way to the east. And this guy should drop in one turn. Buddy. Oh, I guess on a tangent note as I autopilot for a moment. There's a way, if you didn't already know, the way I make JoJo sounds, or I figured out how to, at least for me, make them easier, is that you focus on the second syllable and then you repeat that. So what I mean by that is, when you say ora, you don't emphasize the O, you emphasize the ra. So you go ora, and then you're saying rao instead of ora. And that, to me, makes it easier to repeat. So, to repeat, because I play Marcoh, I guess that's why it's relevant. Go Oda, so you focus on the O in the first part, but after that you go Oda, and then when you want to end it, you emphasize the O again and say Oda. And that's my secret. The same is true for the other ones too, like Muda. Don't say Muda, say Mudamu, and when you repeat that, it's easier to say. I don't know why. I guess it's because, well, someone who works on semantics, or whatever that study of English is, or words, knows. So maybe it's just easier because of how that science works. So same thing, Muda, and that's my secret. And literally all, I think every single JoJo phrase works that way, for me anyway. I find that it's easier for me. What would be another one? Adi Adi, but you've moved from saying Adi to Ria. So Ria, 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 and suddenly you sound like Giorno, a lot more like Giorno than going Adi, 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 Adi. Kind of. But anywho, we have 2 lucky coins, we'll flip them. And then last but not least, if anyone forgot, there is Bora Bora Bora, but you go Rabu 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 instead after the first bow. So you say Bora 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 Bora. Anyway, that's been my quick notes on JoJo yells as I proceed to pipe wrench and move on with my day. So body, and then wrench toss. And then you can come up with your own custom JoJo phrases that way as well. Okay, I can high roll into a Marcoh punch, apparently. Didn't know I could do that. Now I do. Unless that's only for this type of villager, who might be squishier, but I haven't checked the numbers. They are all usually around 300, 350, I want to say. Maybe 550, question mark? Because the guy with the pipe has a bit more, but I'd have to look at the numbers again. I subsequently forgot. I want to say it's like 550-ish, but I could be wrong. Or 500, sorry. So now we can make more food, as much as that matters. I mean, if you only get ingredients, which would be really unlucky, sure. But that's usually not the case. And I could humor the guy with the pipe, but I want to be a bit more prepared first, so... yeah, we're gonna kite him this way. Now he's stuck there because he doesn't want to... He doesn't want to meet Abella. He wants to run into me. Which is why the kiting seems to work the way it does, from what my understanding of this engine. Well, I should understand it somewhat. I mean, I developed games in Maker, but... Listen, I can't remember everything. I'm not the type, especially if you've seen this channel for a while, or been watching for a while, not the correct word, watching. You know I'm prone to forget things, so, yeah. Also, I feel a little hungry. I don't know why. But we'll move on. Chainmail dress. Well, just give me that, I guess. Not for defense, I think for mitigations. Mitigations, question mark? I should check. Yeah, 65, 70, 92, 98. But, I mean... There are more than enough enemies that are capable of doing the damage I can mitigate. And we're gonna get a Kasara, which I think might be better on Marcoh. But to humor the thought, we'll continue with his fists for now. Although I think the Kasara is one of the only ones that are better, along with the axe, of course. But we're here now. So we're gonna loot this really quickly. I don't know if this is the one that there's a trigger here, or it's just that there's a villager wandering here, but we didn't run into anyone, so it's fine for now. Salmon Snake Rune. Alright, okay, we can just immediately head to the temple area. Kind of. I would like some healing items first. Among other things, and on top of being able to get into the city. Can we even get into the city? Do we have a small key yet? No. Well, it's not the worst thing. It does mean I have to fight a harder Samurai, maybe. And if I wanted to, I would leave a bell, or basically run with no party members, but just to humor the thought, we're gonna run with party members, or try to anyway. If I don't bite my head off. I did my best. Or I'll do my best. So yeah, no Venushka means I need to go through the long way around the city through the ruins to get to Tunnel 1, even though there's no effigy there. Yeah. We'll fight this guy really quickly. Again, already planning my run and what I want to do. It just depends on if you want to do it, and if you want to avoid certain RNG, sure. But that's on each player to find out for themselves, as in most games, no matter what genre they may be. Because they all classify as video games, which means for most people you're trying to win. But sometimes you can just play a game to have fun too, even though you lose. I mean, that covers a broad array of things, but it's not an untrue statement. But most of the time you're playing to win. So heads, Death Mask. All right, now we have something if we want to cast magic. We probably won't cast magic, but it's a nice afterthought. Something that only drops off of one of the hardest enemies in the game, if only because there's so many of them, especially on Maso mode. Light Blue Vial, alright. So basically dying here would be very bad, because I had got a lot of good luck. In fact, the Salmon Snake Rune alone is a lot of good luck. There's Sylvian, that's lower, but I'd rather take that than nothing. Grogoroth, Venushka, and alright, so we have a bunch of Bibles. I don't need to buy any more except for Funger, which obviously I'm missing, but hey. I can also open this door if I want, but let's loot this place first. I haven't used glass shards recently, but that's because there's almost no reason for me to, so... They are very good at lowering accuracy, though, I will say. And then if you can stack evasion on top of that, being able to dodge everything, being something only hitting you for an effective 10%, maybe even lower chance, is very delicious. Although it's realistically, it's like 50 into 50, so 25%, but still. So let's make sure, yeah. So with that, we should be able to force this door open between Marco's fist and Abella's wrench. Jab, jab, into throwing a wrench. That's such a satisfying sound, by the way. I props to the developer for choosing that sound, even if it's a stock. As we get the Funger Bible there, it's fulfilling sound. Something that I have yet to master in all of my games, anyway. Because I usually go the route of minimalism, which can be a good thing, but for me, it's bad because usually I don't have enough sound effects and audio design included, which results in, not static, but I guess dull, boring experiences. Boring is a bit more negative, but it would apply here as well. And we flip another heads. Bremen Elite Helmet. Don't mind if I do. Actually, I should have been wearing the Death Mask, but I wasn't casting these spells anyway, so hey. Was there something else? I thought there was something else, like a body piece. Yeah. So, leather armor. And I guess you could. Defense means almost nothing, like 90% of the time. Let's grab this as well. But I can grab it from there? Okay, cool. This is technically a shortcut. I don't know if this... Because technically that's a bug, but it's not exactly a glitch. So, yeah, anywho. We'll use it while it's there, even though I don't use other things. So, it's kind of hypocritical for me to use that, but not do anything else. But anywho. Not use other things. Like, I guess one of the main offenders would be Osaw's 423 magic attack, or 400-something magic attack. He has a lot of magic attack, basically, when he shouldn't. But anywho. Along with other things that people are not scraping out of the game, but figuring out. Especially when you have the engine that this game is in. Even if you don't, take a look at the game itself, getting a better understanding of how things work or how they're prioritized in this engine does help you understand a lot of what's happening in Termina. A really common example that may not be, thought about immediately is how enemies can run into you. I'm just having a lot of good luck. I hope I'm not about to die. But, yeah, it's... How enemies run into you is that even though you haven't walked out into a space or you're walking out of a space, and you see that the enemy is nowhere near you, once you have an understanding of an engine, which, does break immersion to some degree for some people, or many people, but, yeah, it's how the engine works. If you want it to work elsewhere, I mean, you can try to make it work in other places, as I forget to equip the wrench, but it's not. So unless you modify the files yourself, which I think the dev said was just, I mean, it's thinking law-wise, especially for a lot of countries, it wouldn't be, because you would essentially be modding or modifying a private version, and you're not distributing anything that is either parts of the game to be built as a whole or the game itself, which would obviously be pirating. But hey, yeah, just to say. Though, if you wanted to fix it yourself, you could, but at the same time, you can go for, I guess, not a purist, but the experience that the dev made out and is therefore still patching. But the dev is going through their own problems as well, so no reason to... I mean, there's no reason to really harass anyone to the degree of, hey, fix this, because that sounds a little, but... At the same time, there's purity in the statement of, hey, there are these, this, and this bugs, because it's not like we can ignore the fact that we can jump down from the mayor's manor, even though there's no tree growing, because you need Venushka to officially climb down there, but you can currently just jump down there yourself, so... Anywho. Moving on. If there's anything you want me to talk about, I'll try to go over it. Again, I don't claim to be the authority of anything, really. Authority of knowledge on anything. If that's even the right phrase, but... I'll do my best, and if nothing else, I'll try to look into it myself, unless I forget to look into things. I've done that before, so you just have to remind me. Also, Ballistic Shield for even more mitigation. And we'll move on. We'll dodge this guy, actually. We don't need heads right now. Although he is following me. He, she, or they are following me quite far. Well, you want to kite this around this tree? I'll kite around this tree. Alright, so interesting to note, he can actually chase me all the way down here. So he's just gonna get beaten up for his trouble, I guess. And then what else do you want me to do? Also, I crit there. Wow, Marcoh can do that? Alright, cool. Or do that amount of damage with the crit, but anywho. We'll take your head while we're here, might as well. And if we need free healing, theoretically, we have it. Because the ones, yeah, the Moon Scorched here that do not aggro you, I think, they definitely don't attack you on the first turn. That I know for sure. But maybe there's more to it. Maybe they never attack you, or maybe they will attack you eventually. The point is that you're probably going to come out positive if you have the Leechmonger's Ring and you defeat them. So, yeah. So I'm going to open this box, chalk and red herb. Definitely at least, what, 10 chalk? I can't remember the exact number. This is what I mean by don't quiz me on knowledge, by the way, but we could loot those barrels, but I'm planning to loop around to the bookstore over to the church. Did I ever get a small key? Please tell me I got a small key. I did not. Alright, I guess we're not going down here. I mean, I could pick up things down there, but it's mostly Abella crafting things, so yeah, I guess we're just gonna loop around and figure out what we want to do. Because you can also pick up bolt cutters from a crate, not exactly a barrel. I think a crate can drop it, but barrels can't, is what I'm trying to say. If that's not true, correct me. Otherwise, just know. I know I'm 99.95% certain that you can get box cutters off a box, which would allow you to immediately cut open the gate in the Old Town, west side of Old Town, and get into the city. But because I can't, I don't have a small key, or I don't have bolt cutters, I can't do any of those. So I may have to just end up sleeping. Which basically means for certain Samurai is gonna Moon Scorch, so I have to fight that version of Samurai, but that's not the worst thing to happen. I would just like to avoid it if possible. But anywho, we'll let hunger fall a bit more as I get shot. Why? I thought I was not at this map for some reason, so that's my mistake. But hey, at least if I get hungry, I'm not effectively losing body, but I still have effectively lost body because I shouldn't have gotten shot in the first place. As we get rifle ammo and his head. And I guess just to humor the thought, I will attack this sewer door, but I'm pretty sure I can't open it because they're at least 1100 HP strong. So yeah. What I can do is Venushka over to the city. I would just have to go that way, but if I'm gonna go that way, I'm probably going to... Or the door could just 5% evasion, but you get the point. I'm just gonna accept my loss here. And we'll probably Venushka. I should Book of Enlightenment, all things considered. I could end up dying. Yeah, you know what? That might be a smart decision. And this is mainly to do, if nothing else, to get as much exploration done as possible in one phase, because essentially you do have at minimum 9 phases to save the game before you basically die. So your saves are soft limited, and they can be expanded based on how many Book of Enlightenments you get, but you get the point. You get progress. And again, knowing that means 9 save points is more than enough time to progress through the whole game. The question is that, or the detail about that is that things change in between. So let me actually, I'll mind recover if nothing else, but we're going to sit here and think and check our Bibles. So we don't have Ulmer. We do have Funger. But I don't want to Funger here, because I usually like to set up Ulmer's here and then at Donovan's house at the quote-unquote last or end game area. But yeah, to think about it, yeah, between saves, every time you save, something happens, which is what you can do with this maker. I guess to explain on that as I recover mind. So you can always do something. For those who don't know, in RPG Maker, normally you have to set up the code to save, but in between that, as you would expect from a engine that allows you to basically pseudocode things you're in. It's a very, well, how would you explain it? High-level language being used on top of a GUI. So you're not directly coding, but you can still apply like algorithms, logic, ways of things. So again, the most simplest is when I go over to that couch and talk to it or interact with it, it'll ask if I want to sleep, and if I say yes, then essentially I get brought to a branching tree that allows me to save, because you go to sleep, you have the dream, you can hexen, you can save, you can talk. But when you hit save, you can still do things before and after it, or during it, depending on how you modify your game, if you're a developer. And yeah, when that happens, a lot of things change. So it could be anything as simple as one switch, meaning, hey, we're on day 1 night, and now there are a bunch of events that trigger differently if it sees that this switch or variable is on day 1 night. Or basically the logic there is that, hey, you're on day 1 night, do this and this and this. Or you could just switch a lot of variables and things happen not outside the screen, but essentially the game state changes. And that obviously can factor into how people interact with the game, either with glitches, with bugs, or just try to figure out if there are any loopholes. Otherwise, players apostrophe after the S, understanding of the game increases based on how you interpret these things. But even if you didn't know anything about Maker, if you play the game and you notice that you walk outside after you sleep, the screen's orange. Hey, it's evening. You sleep again. Everything's dark. There's a black circle instead of a fog-like circle. It's nighttime. So yeah. That's my TED Talk on Maker and what you can do with the events of this, on top of me adding Karen Roll. That I didn't make interactable. I could, but it'd be interesting. Also, as a quick little fun fact, when characters' names appear when you talk to them, it's actually an image of a letter on top of the letters of their name. I apologize in advance to the developer if this is a bit much, but yeah, which, I mean, to me, shows... if nothing else, shows how much love the developer put into, like, doing small things like that. Because even that alone, as I focus on Venushka, I think this is Venushka? Because this is Sylvian, right? Please let this be Venushka. But, yeah, you didn't have to go with that, because that's more time the developer has to spend not working on gameplay or getting music. As basically, they could have finished the game faster if they didn't do that. But because they wanted to make a letter that corresponds with the first letter of everyone's name, like Marcoh's M, he had to create a custom M, or get an image M, because it's not a font, I believe. So that's that. And actually, I'm going to save it here, because we picked up a lot of good stuff, if I were to not curse. And I want to save. So, yeah. We'll go all the way to the beginning and roll over Dawn saves. And we'll move on. But yeah, didn't have to do that. Made it. If they didn't make it itself, even just the act of doing it means that you're spending less, or it takes longer for you to complete the game, basically. Which I can imagine might be the same thing with Funger 3, or whatever it might be called. Again, I'm not the developer, I don't want to put any words in their mouth, but that's just what happens. I can also go to the Deep Forest now, although these dogs are chasing me. But, it's fine if they chase me here, because nothing relatively bad is going to happen. Did he stop? He should be here, right? Yeah, he's here. Somewhere. I can't see, but I can't loot anything from them anyway, so it's not like it matters too much. Unless I exit this and the other one reaches me. But there's only one way in, so he shouldn't know. He should get stuck somewhere. If nothing else, I get time to oh, never mind. I didn't even get there. That's why I crit. Anywho. Off to Tunnel 1 I go, if for no other reason than to loot stuff, but Osa would be nice, so... yeah. So red herb, I think there's a green herb up here. Oh my goodness, please. The thing is wandering already. The more time you spend in a map, the more random it becomes, because obviously events sometimes, they sometimes wander around, so... anywho. Moving on. So I will be triggering needles here. I guess my real question is, what do I have? A pistol with how much ammo? Marcoh once made a promise to himself he'd never lay a finger on firearms ever again. However, the circumstances are what they are. He finds it surprising how light the pistol feels in his hands after all this time. 6 bullets? Yeah, that's nowhere near enough. So we have to... we want to kite stitches, sorry. And that would be great. And we'll grab shillings here, because I don't remember which of these lockers... I think none of the middle ones have anything. Never mind. That one does. Nothing else should have anything if I were to make a guess. But yeah, because they're just either empty, unless I've just had really bad luck, and just... because there's a chance that things give you nothing here and there, and then the ends there are what have things. So that I remember. But we'll see if I remember in future playthroughs. If nothing else, I'm learning the game a lot more. Whether I retain that knowledge, that's another issue for later. Eye of Sylvian, we might as well. And then I really don't want to... Actually, do I have gasoline canisters here? I can check. I just need 2. Yeah, I need 2, so I don't even need to run to Stitches. Because it feels... I didn't check either, but based on my personal experience, she only spawns if you go over down to the left. Mainly to get the gasoline canister, but I don't know where the trigger is exactly. But as you saw, she would have been in my way if she had spawned, so... Yeah. Maybe I'll come back here for ammo, but I shouldn't need it. Again, this is mostly to get access to Osa, which I've already fought as Mastermind, but I guess I can leave him alone this time. Because I'm Marcoh, and I want to be silent. But really, just to see different events. So this time, I do want to... I'm just letting you know now, we're not... If you're one of the people who watch this later on and go, oh, also I forgot that chest. That you can backseat on. You're like, hey, you walked past the chest. But... if you're wondering, hey, why didn't you recruit Osa? Recruit Osa, it just makes it harder. Then it's because I'm making a conscious decision to do so. And I will also make conscious decisions that are really bad at times. But, if nothing else, it's an honest mistake. So, forgive me for that. But yeah, we'll let Osa recover here. I think Abella can short-circuit this. Nope, it's a door. Well, Curiosity. I think this one has a lot of HP as well, but we'll see if we get high rolls. It's okay. And yeah, we're probably not able to open this, so we needed the lockpicking, which Marcoh could get immediately for some reason, while Karen can't. But we skipped character history, so I'm not going to complain about it. Hello, Osa. I see that you have an arrow from an unknown enemy. And we'll move on. Abella will be able to short-circuit this door, but we'll just leave Osa here so that he can come back later. Even though I thought... Yeah, wasn't there a run where I picked him up? I think I dropped him in Pre-Evil Bop, but he was sitting somewhere... He was sitting in the city ruins guarding an area, because that's how Osa functions. But, anywho... we'll leave him there so that he can appear later on, or become Moon Scorched, because, again, we're doing ending B, so we might as well just... We have to, actually, defeat everyone at some point. Which, some may find it strange. I'm not saying that this is my point of view, but if I were to at least theorize, it's kind of strange that ending A, which some people might treat as the better... Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to pick up that green herb. Hold on, let me focus for a moment and not get caught. Okay, good. But forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Anywho, moving on. If I remember. If you want to ask me what it was, then I'll let you know. But that owl cultist is gonna shoot me, dog. Why are you getting in my way? Anywho. So yeah, this is my way into... You have a lot of ways into the city. More than a few. Even if we include trying to break down a door that's normally hard to break down. But, hey. Theoretically, you can... Well, not theoretically, but in-game you can do it. The requisite is that you need to be able to deal over 1,000 damage, which you could do with 4 party members, but at that point, usually in day 1 morning, you don't have that many resources. That said, if I run to these fecal hounds, it could end badly for me. So let's try to dodge them and never come back here, because I don't need to come back. I could fight Olivia here, but getting irritated is, I think, 25% less minus 25% less accuracy as I proceed to not walk on a mine. I have to wait. Okay, I'll talk while this happens. But yeah, it's getting irritated, which is what Olivia and I think Olivia Doppelganger. I should know. But they can inflict that status on you and decreases your accuracy by 25%. And I feel like it also decreases your evasion. Maybe it's just accuracy though. I would have to look at it again. But anywho, yeah, there are a few, and if you've been watching all of my playthroughs, because I think I've done 5 now, but if you watch all my playthroughs, you've seen pretty much, if not all, a lot, or if not all status effects that must be healed by means other than more common item drops. So, for example, Fracture is usually a Dawn. You need Dawn or Silver. What the heck? He shot me? Really? I was running at him. I wonder when he starts talking. I mean, there is so how this rifleman or the overworld riflemen work is that they scan in air, or if you step into an area, they start aiming, and then afterward they let me feed a bill really quickly. Afterward, after a certain point, I think it's after a certain point of time, they fire, and if you're in a square that fires, or if you are in the line, I can't figure out which, but basically you step into a trigger and they start aiming, and you need to either avoid those squares entirely, like step out of them, or you need to hurry up and run into the enemy. But I think the pillars count. If I ran behind a pillar because the developer used logic there, then yeah, we could have dodged it, but we didn't, so here we are. Standing here realizing that we took 10 more body damage. We haven't gotten hit yet, but in early game, I would argue that not getting hit at all is the bare minimum of what you want to do, because getting hit at all eats away at your resources, because resting, sleeping does not recover your body. Which kind of makes sense. You're only sleeping during like phases of the day, so why would you recover from, say, a stab wound within 3 or 4 hours? So, and we can loot this here. If we had triggered genies, we would have to worry about them, but we didn't, so we should be able to freely loot stuff here. And I think in Maso mode, there is a rusting nail that spawns if you're on Maso mode. I can't remember, though. Again, I'm going over these things if for no one else than myself to try and remember. Also, there's wine that I think I can siphon here, but it's based on chance. Otherwise, these are just here for decoration, but I don't have any glass vials, so never mind. This opens up a loop-de-loop, so I mean, I guess I can. This should be just a regular door with 550 HP. So yeah, or 600. I can't remember which. But we'll open it for the sake of opening it, and we will get out with our loot. Iron Spear, Red Herb. Well, unfortunately, the Iron Spear doesn't give me a lot of accuracy as I proceed to focus on not blowing up. And then we want to hope that we don't run into a mob, which I think well, hold on. We're not out of the woods yet, basically. Ah! That spooked me a bit. Oh, actually, also I have no stamina, so let's actually do this. So we can kite him over here. Do I have stamina? I do. I should now. And if I hold, I should be able to just dodge every single mine. And then we'll find out. So, am I gonna get stuck? No, never mind. Well, I could have baited with Abella there, but it's a bit late now. So, we're gonna do this and hope that the mallet dies. I don't know because I haven't played Marcoh enough, but he can one-shot the mallet, which means someone's gonna eat it here. It's gonna be Abella. And he loses balance, but after this, we need to heal Abella, who is also bleeding now. Quick! He's still running at me. So I want to... Eye of Sylvian. We'll leave bleeding on, because she's probably going to remain bleeding. But we'll remove this so we can get more effective healing done. Light blue vial, but if I have anything else, I'll probably use it. Otherwise, light blue vial. Yeah, so... I mean, if I want a full heal, I guess... Yeah, I guess we'll do this. And we run into him. So we'll do the same thing here. Well, actually, I'm going to guard and have Abella get rid of that body part. I guessed wrong. So, well, he slammed me, but the point is that we took a lot more damage overall. Effectively, though, we don't really care as much about Abella, because ending B, but I would like to get her soul if possible. So, yeah, now we can get rid of the bleeding. And we have an infection, but that's RNG. After using the dirty toilet paper. So, yeah, cloth fragment into head. Keeping in mind, though, I don't have a meat grinder, so unless I shoot down a mob, it's not going to happen. Because otherwise I'd have to return to Tunnel 1 and open that door with lockpicking to get the bench grinder. That said, let's run through and find out if bad things happen. Okay, yeah, so we're okay for now. Don't want to come back here. We finally got a small key, but we're kind of past that, so, oof. And there's a chest here, but Osa can spawn here, as I now know, at a certain point of a certain day. But anywho. The important thing is that we've done the looting we need to, and we're inside the city, unless there's a trick mine here, but... Trick mine. And we can enter through the sewers this way. What we can't do is go all the way through the sewers, because that involves... Because this is locked right here, and I'm pretty sure this has like 1100 HP minimum. But this brings us to Primeval Bop. Otherwise, I could have gone through the ruined part of the city over to the back alleys. But, hey. Yeah, we don't want to use a small key here. We'll use it somewhere else. Or try to, anyway. Yeah, but this is the way over this. We have access to Primeval Bop at minimum, and the back alleys as well. And we'll move on. So, I wonder if we can... No, this is a dead end. Whoops. Well, come at me, fools! They're all gonna collapse, by the way. That they can't survive what's gonna happen to their bodies. Literally their bodies. And, yeah. Halt, in the name of love. So, I think... Let's just check. I might as well check. So, she still has the Eye of Sylvian, so we can give her a blue vial and get some effective healing done without overhealing. And then we'll switch this back to, Marcoh / me. So, I may be able to do the same thing. But I want the Leechmonger ring first, so... All of these people should collapse, but... I mean, I guess I should just defeat them all while I have the chance here. I could leave them to leech more HP later. I did low rolls there, really? Okay, cool. We'll fight again. And, yeah. We'll move on. If nothing else, I think the most helpful thing these guys can drop, aside from maybe food ingredients, but that would probably be second, is shillings. Yeah, or just food in general. Maybe mind healing, because tobacco, you can be smoked through the pipe, but anywho. I didn't get their heads, did I? So we'll do that as well. And it seems to be that when we reach Primeval Bop, we're going to sleep and end the video, but we'll see. If for nothing else than timing, because I don't want to take too much more of your time, even though, yes, this is all gameplay. And yes, I could also just cut the video up if it's like an hour 30, and then save the other 30 minutes for a second episode on top of another 30 minutes, but hey. If I can do it nicely, why not, right? So, meanwhile, let's loot whatever we can. I think there are boxes down here, question mark? Yeah. So 2 more boxes with anything, yeah, so bullets being the most useful. I don't have a rifle yet, but... We'll worry about that later. Pet pills, 5 shillings. Need some sort of pet pills at some point. Otherwise, Rur is going to be a bit tricky. Glass vial. I need that for wine, but I didn't have... Well, now I didn't have a glass vial then. And that will actually run past. We could take their heads, but I won't. And so we run past. Let me make sure. Okay, no one else is hungry. So we'll move to the next area. And this should be Primeval Bop. The ladder to Primeval Bop, maybe. I think. I'll open the back alleys first. Just to do so. As we grab the axe. But, yeah, we'll open this first. We might as well open it. We'll open this first and get get guns at Primeval. And then move back. Or we even get the leech. Yeah, you know what? Now that I say that, it sounds more reasonable to, It sounds more reasonable to get Leechmonger. So, I said I wanted to travel with the full party. I'm going to do so. I almost cleared everything out, but she's going to stop to visit the pub. But, nice little Rayla butterfly will show me that there's a hidden compartment here. Like the rats we are. Anywho, let's look at this book first. Nothing, but at least it's another book I don't need to get. Shotgun, rifle, and actually let me funger here as well. I don't have any matches, really? Let me make sure I'm fungering. And we will move on. I could also save it there as well, but I want to get some extra stuff done. So, yeah, we'll move on. Who'd hit here? I guess I'll sprinkle some lore down. Some kind of revolutionaries, she thinks. They were clearly against both the Bremen militia and Eastern Union that used to occupy this area prior to Bremen. If for no one else, the lore is for myself to learn more of and retain. I mean, Abella means, from the look of things at least. Or she doesn't know. What does Marcoh think? I don't know. I'm just a dude. Literally just a dude who happens to have a strong body. Body. But yeah, let's head onward, Abella. So if nothing else, this playthrough is going to be a testament of how many items I need to spend on a full party at all times. So yeah. Oh, please, Inquisitor, please. Oh, yeah. You don't want to be hugging the left side later on in the run, because a Bellin can jump down, unless you don't mind, I guess. But what we will do is go over towards this Leechmonger ring, while looting things along the way. How many shillings do we have, actually? I may buy a... Yeah, small things amulet. I'm going to do it. Because otherwise, I don't... Oh, there's a guaranteed one if you literally use the ability to convene with rats. But you'd have to get that perk, so otherwise, all you have left is the ability to, is buying the small things amulet. Or finding it luckily in a box. But that's another problem in of itself. So we'll go up and get the Leechmonger's ring and the chainmail dress for Abella while we have her here. I think my reward here will be, or what I plan, again, with this playthrough of party members always staying with me, is I'm going to wait till day 3 evening before I start defeating everyone. Whether by the tower or just with sneaky shuttling here and there, we'll see what I decide to do. So Leechmonger will hastily equip that onto Marcoh. But also we have the Salmon Snake rune, so I could just try and rush Rancid now. Or Moonless, or both. Moonless, actually anytime. Moonless cannot remove your limbs. It's just that you need to be able to take the raw damage that is being dealt to you in some way. As Abella wears her chainmail dress, and we get a move on. And you know what? We'll Poe here. Why not? Actually, no, I won't. Yeah, I won't. So let's get the small things amulet and get nothing for our work. As we go down here and check just to be sure. Yeah, those bookshelves don't have anything. And then we'll loot stuff here. Another small key, a blue vial. Box. Bookcase. And chest with more boxes. And we'll spend this lucky coin here, because we never know. Maybe we get 2 Salmon Snake runes. But we just got 2 vodka, which is nice mind healing if we need to, especially if we are going to be carrying a large group of party members, and especially if I take my time. But I'm not. You see that I'm not, and you should know that I'm probably not unless I flounder around, but that's for you to find out and for me to know. So yeah. Do I want to do this now? Why am I running all the way over here? Well, I guess because I'm here now and I want to just get it out of the way. We'll find out if this is a good idea or not, but... yeah, I guess we're heading into the school now and doing this effigy. And I may or may not regret it. To that end, I think I'm just gonna rush through. I'm not gonna go over to the right. I could loot. There's good stuff to loot, but hey. Unless we get every non-lore book, but hey, that too. So 1, 2, 6. I don't remember the other one. We're gonna rush through. Over here, I think, because I want heads still. As much as it may not matter. So we'll equip this pistol and shoot through this door. Yeah, and get a double shot. So nothing of value but their heads. And then we will try to get this effigy and I guess run back. I do want to open the back alley's gate. I mean, I need to head to the apartment regardless. But doing this here at the school is probably going to take the rest of this video's time. So, yeah. Listen, an hour of recording and there are 24 hours in our real live days. Give me this, all right? Allow me to make episodes only an hour long. I say only an hour long, but which does sound odd, but hey. Some movies don't, well, most movies are over an hour long, but what I mean by that is some movies are barely an hour long, so you know what? Fine. I think there's a bookcase over here. If there's not, well, I'm just gonna cry. Nope, I'm gonna cry. And we could just fall down as well to sacrifice heads, but let's just walk through this whole way, if for no other reason than to pick up this white vial here. Are we hungry? We're almost hungry, so I need to remember to do that. I will go upstairs, though, because there are, I think, like 3... Oh, well, hey. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to hug the right, but it's fine. I don't lose damage, I just fall to the basement as Marco's sprite fails to load. But, I mean, we're here now. I'm just going to do this. So, yeah, we're going to do this. And there's a priest now I can shoot down as well, but if I can fire them down in the overworld, I will. I could also bear trap him, but I would rather bear trap maybe the woodsman, if for no other reason than to get to another circle. I kept wanting to say Sylvian circle, but that's not right either. And I'm sure there are more enemies around, but I'm not going to use that much time, so we'll skip the sacrifice for the moment, but we will shoot things down. So yeah, there are definitely 3 heads there, so I at least get 1 soul stone out of this, but I have yet to do everything I need to do. Also, I did not unequip this pistol. I just want to equip weapons because I might accidentally try to run, and run is also mapped to shoot. So let's not do that. And we'll try not to miss on the priest because of how events and collision work in this game. We'll open this with a flip of the coin and get nothing, but fair enough. All my luck was at the beginning, as there was a child there. I was like, how did the priest get there so fast? It was the child. But anywho, yeah, we're gonna run away and never... Oh, I'm stuck here, by the way. Okay, let me out. And this priest should wake up, so I'm gonna equip the shotgun, because everyone has an executioner. Marco's never really used one of these, but he's seen movies where firearms like these were used, and after messing around with the gun a bit, he feels comfortable with it. And, yeah, away we go. We'll loot him. I think he always drops a soul stone. And we'll take his head, and then sacrifice heads, do the effigy, profit, hopefully save at Preheval Bop. We'll actually use the Funger save, because I want to do Samurai, so that I don't have to fight her again. I could choose to fight her to get different dialogue, because I think the last time I fought her was as Marina, without spoiling too much, even though that in itself is a spoiler. But, hey, we get 7 soul stones at least in the present, so I'll think about that later. Unless I die, then I would be all the way back at... right before the deeper woods, right? Yeah, I think that's where I am. Oh no, the deepest woods. Because there's deep woods, deeper woods, and deepest woods. Deepest woods is the map before before Tunnel 1. Yeah, that was gonna happen. I ran into too many of these, but thankfully Abella's the one who was guarding, so we get another chance here, or we can just get really unlucky because that's just the nature of RNG. I don't remember if it ever guarantees it, but I do know I'm pretty sure the rate of escape increases with extra uses. I feel like so. If I'm wrong, so be it. And let's fulfill my promise on getting books as I equip this pistol so I can shoot this thing down. Saw off the head, move onward. And stretch out my back. So, into this I go. Oop, wrong. Okay. Just making sure. There's a bookshelf here. There's a bookshelf on the other side as well. There's a bookshelf in the other classroom on top of that. But first... we'll get rid of these extra enemies. I think that's both of them. Or all... I think there's only 2 of them, not 3 of them. I guess I'm going to find out. Again, I have to retain a lot of knowledge. So, lore. Yeah, nothing else here but another bookshelf. Book of Fears, which, if you're a new player, does fill you in, but I already know, so it's fine. If nothing else, that basically, if you have a phobia and an enemy triggers it, accuracy and evasion minus 50%. So, yeah, anywho. With that, we should get out. I should feed Marcoh really quick. And away I go. There's things to loot here as well, but I can't remember all of them, so... I'm pretty sure I'm missing another locker minimum there, but it's fine. And we'll move on. So, effigy time. We have a purifying talisman, so we should be able to do this. I could... was there a rare circle? I can't remember. Or a place I could rare... to port to the end of this space. Basically, no RNG required, but theoretically you can dodge these without relying on RNG, so yeah, we're gonna do that. While getting a bunch of food from these barrels. And if you wanted to be daring, loot more chests, or a chest or more chests here, but I'm not gonna do that, so away we go. So we run past this first one. When we get to tension, we walk, because we can walk past this next one. We run past this one, and we should be able to run past this one. Okay, good. Otherwise, a safer kite is to go all the way to the right and hope you don't get pinched in. I think there's a way to do it, though, and that's why it's safer. But there, if you slip on a button press, then there's a chance you could... there's a chance you get caught. And these things, I think, can cut your arms off. So, that would be nice to never do so. Until I fail to kite them. Then you'll see what happens. But we're fine now. Marco's fine. Marco's playthrough is fine. We're not coming back here. No reason to come back here. And away we go. By the way, what do you have to say to this, Abella? Why is there a hanging platform in a schoolyard? Yeah, good question. For those who don't know Prehevel or Prehevel. Prehevel? Yeah. Right, back to Prehevel Bop I go. And we hope for the best. So there's a mallet man that's sometimes here. I don't know if he just wanders in and then you line of sight him and things happen, but anywho, nothing bad happened. I could look for something to buy, but we only have 40 shillings, so we're gonna toss that idea out. And down I go. So I got the Smelting Amulet actually. I don't have I don't have 1 agility though, so never mind. I need to Funger at least twice. But I'm just going to regularly save, so we should be fine for now. And with that, yeah, so as we near the end of this video, whatever it may be, if you have any suggestions or comments, you know what to do. If you want to support me, subscribing would help out the most. Otherwise, you do you. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you leaving comments. And I will sleep soon. There's probably not much for me to hexen into anyway, but I will make soul stones before I do that. Actually, I should recruit Abella first again so I can recover mine at the same time. So we'll do that really quickly. And yeah, actually I'll just give her alcohol here. A little bit, not anything heavy. As we sit here and think. So with this, I could immediately head, because through the staircase, I can, I think, open the gate back to Old Town, so I don't have to take the long way around. That does mean I have to get past Bobby's, but if I am going to save, I can save and try it again. That's the benefit of me saving here. Otherwise, I could go from Prehevel Bop over to... No, it would just be back alleys. Yeah, back alleys to staircase, and then from there... go to the bookstore and church. What I wanted to say was go into the sewers, but I either need a sewer winch, otherwise I have to walk all the way back to tunnel 5 or 6, and then use a small key to get into that part of the sewers. But we'll see. If I sleep, I could probably get lockpicking. Or not lockpicking. I could build into something else, and then on day 1 evening, I could get the key from tunnel 7 and do the normal way, or the more normal ways to get into the city. But I Venushka'd my way in, so theoretically I'm already in. I just need to unlock the ways back into the city. And then as for the sewer, I think there's only 2 ends into it. If I'm wrong, correct me. The first end is through the sewer treatment plant, but you have to go through the other way. Or you would have had to do the puzzle, which basically means there's only 1 way in. And that's through either, well, there are 2 ways in. Or 3 ways in, sorry. You get the sewer key, you unlock that and go through. You fight the door, you break it down and go through. Or you pick up a sewer winch and then open the sewer grate, or the sewer. Basically, you sewer winch your way into the sewer from Prehevel Central, I think. So yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I can't think of any other ways unless there's a way to teleport in there or something, or another way, but I'd have to look into it. But without further ado, we should have more than, well, we'll sit here for a couple more seconds. Don't need that much mind, but we'll see. If I have matches, that would be nice. I don't. So yeah, we'll sit here. We'll even feed Abella for the sake of feeding Abella. No, we won't. Let's go through this lore actually really quickly, if we can. No, not that one. The Coded letter 1? Question mark? Not really anything to say, but looks like a coded letter or a child's prank. Unfortunately, Marcoh doesn't have the means to decrypt this at the moment. But Abella, on the other hand, asks for it. That's a weird one. What does Marcoh reckon? And I guess she doesn't need to say anything. But with that said, we have pretty much 100% mine, so we will sleep. Sleep on the bottom to prevent tragedies, I guess is what we'll call it. And we'll see what happens. Because not really anything to hex into unless I want to take the rest of Marco's stuff. But I have the Salmon Snake rune, so theoretically I don't need to take it. If I want to immerse myself, I could. So, yeah. Anywho. We'll check just to be sure. I only did one Funger, so... I mean, I guess I could take Rot. But we'll wait, because I should be able to reach the Hexen table. These are nice, and we are in a Marcoh run. Unless we get Marco's soul, but... I think you have to activate all of these except for maybe Adrenaline Rush, but it doesn't exactly add the most power. You know what? What I will do is, I guess just to open up possibilities, I'll give these all to Marcoh. And we'll see if we want to play around with it. Otherwise, oh, this is Agility 1? No, that's not. That's Rot. Yeah, I was about to say. Which does get me a lot of damage, but that's only 2 bosses with a lot of HP. Well, I mean, I guess. So I'll have Marcoh. Yeah, we'll stack everything on the main character once again. Roots that reap, but we'll hold that for later. No real reason to cast it raw, and then we'll save it. And yeah, so if you want to support me, you know what to do. I appreciate you watching at the bare minimum. And yeah, I'll see you next time. See you later.